Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome to your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen. I have a great podcast for you today. We're bringing in our guides. Pablo, Justin, and Al are going to be joining us. We're going to talk about how excited we all are about the opening day of rockfish season, which is today. But we all looked at the weather and we know that there's a lot of unstable air. So we all decided that we would keep you at the dock today. And then at the last minute, Pablo said he was going to go fishing. We're not sure if he went or not, but we're going to find out because we're bringing him in on the show too. But gang, we're basically going to open up today's show and we're going to talk about the Rockfish opener and all the different things that are going out on the water and what Justin thinks and what Al thinks and what Pablo thinks. And we're going to take as many of your questions as we possibly can. We're going to try to talk through all the new regulations. I hope you all had an opportunity to watch our show on Friday and see Wayne from CCA and see all the good things that CCA has done to help us in the industry. And that was a great show. I had a very, very good time talking with Mr. Wayne. We got to talk about a few of the issues that are going on in California. So it was a great show. And I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. Those of you that didn't see our live show last night, we launched a new part to the website, Your Saltwater Guide. We launched Ryland's Corner. Ryland is Justin Botrell's son. He's also the deckhand on Bowline Sportfishing. The Real Adventure. You guys watched him live out here on our live shows. And now he has a whole section on the website. So it'll help your children to understand how fun fishing is. And having a young man with the amount of knowledge that Ryland has, helping teach our kids, this is going to be a win-win for all of us. So if you haven't had a chance to look at it, go over to the website after the show today and go look at Ryland's Corner. And we'll be adding new videos. We have 4 on there. Well, we have 5 if you count his invitation to all of you to check out his corner. And then he's got videos about how to cut up squid and how to fish with that. He's got casting video and he's got a proper way to fish off the docks with mussels. It's a really cool section. And he'll be adding videos throughout the season. And yes, this is Marley right here hanging out. He's just laying on my chest today, relaxing. He's going to stay right here. He wants to be with Daddy today. So hopefully we can see him around the microphone. Let's see, go this way. There you go. There he is. So there's Marley. And without any, and it's Promar Ahi USA Monday. So we're going to be talking Promar products. Justin and I are big proponents of the rock cod squirt. So we'll be showing you those today. We'll be talking all fishing all the time. Let's bring in our guides here, gang. What do you think? Al, welcome to the show. Justin, welcome. And Pablo, welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
So, hey. Al, how are you today? Start with Al. I know you all want to talk, but let's start with Al first. Good morning, Al. How are you?
Good morning. All good over here.
Yeah. What's it looking like with your boat? Are you going to make it?
It looks like if everything goes right, they'll be splashing it Wednesday afternoon or Thursday.
Oh, that is phenomenal. That is such good news.
Right.
And
the rudders
start doing your charters and going out there and catching some fish.
Right. The rudders are supposed to be getting in the machine shop this morning, and then they got to weld up the shafts on them and then get them over to Shelter Island. So I was over there this morning lighting a fire, so everything seems to be okay.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. And do you have any open dates?
A lot. Yeah,
you do?
Yeah.
Well, throw out first thing, gang, you're going to want to get with Al. You want to get to go fishing with Al. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to let Al give you all his phone number here real quick, nice and slow, so they can write it down. A lot of people driving in their cars, and then we'll jump into talking to Justin for a minute.
My phone number is 619-800-3474.
And Al, what do you fish for? What can they go fishing for with you?
Everything. So they can fish the bay for spotted bay bass, sand bass, halibut, stuff like that. Half-day trips, 3/4 day trips down to the Coronado Islands. Right now, the mainly rock cod, link cod, and a little sprinkle of yellows are going on down there. And then that bluefin swimming north, so pretty soon it'll be in our range.
Nice.
But anything from a little 4-hour bait trip to a 12-hour offshore.
And something we haven't talked about, we didn't talk about it on Friday, but it's big news. And you and Pablo are setting in perfect striking distance to be hitting that 43 fathom spot that hasn't been fished in 20 plus years. And that's going to be insane. If you want to go catch some monster rockfish, I know the high spot, just because we accidentally dropped on it a couple times when we were fishing bluefin. It was an accident, gang. We got backlash and we just accidentally dropped down a couple hooks, and we were bringing up Boccaccio as big as Justin's couch. So I'm telling you, that high spot, and there's so much area on the 43, gang, you can't even comprehend. They opened that up. It's open today. So that's a great thing. If you want to go see some epic rockfish fishing, go with Pablo or Al. For Justin, it's not worth it to go rock fishing 70 miles one way. But for Al and Pablo, it's what, 35 miles?
Yeah, 39. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. And you're fishing phenomenal rock. And you know what's going to be really cool? I talked about it a little bit on Sunday, was people are going to be able to anchor up on that thing and catch bluefin and rockfish at the same time, because it comes up to 43 fathoms. That's an easy spot to anchor on, gang. So there's so many opportunities that opened up. I mean, we can all sit here and suck our thumb and pout about the limits changing and all the different things, but it's not worth it. We're fishermen, and like Al said, he fishes for anything that swims or crawls. He fishes for them all. We know how to fish around the regs. We know how to get you guys onto some really good fish. So take advantage of Al's boat. Justin, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Good. How's everyone doing? Dave, Pablo, Al, how are you? And everybody watching?
We're having a good day today, buddy, because I got you guys with me. Thank you.
Very good. So is everyone excited for Rockfish opener?
Pablo's
Today's
on his
opener.
boat. He's cruising in. I can hear it.
Yeah, we're
I know. How are you doing, Pablo?
we're doing good. We started just drifting for a little halibut. We were waiting for one of our tardy crew to get here, so we went and picked him up, and now we're heading up to La Jolla. We're going to do the we're going to go hit one of our spots. I almost said exactly where we're going, but you Saltwater Guide members, if you want to know where we're going, you call me directly and I'll tell you. But everybody else watching the show, it's one of the privileges of being a Saltwater Guide member is we get you right on the spots. Anyway, I can tell you that I'm somewhere between Mission Bay and Oceanside Harbor looking for them rockfish.
Beautiful. Well, how's the weather today?
Oh, it's beautiful. It couldn't be better. Nobody's out here. Maybe one or two boats. Yeah, it's great. It's a great day. Beautiful out here. We're just kind of fishing for fun today. We just want to get some rockfish in the bag, and then we'll probably try for a little halibut drift too on the way back.
Catch another one of them 20-pounders.
The what?
Catch another one of those 20-pounders.
Yeah, that's the goal.
That was a stud. That was definitely a stud.
All right,
Nice.
Pablo. Let them know your number, because you're breaking up real bad and you're out on the water, so we're going to dump you off the show. So let them know how to get a hold of you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, call me at 619-431-3070. 619-431-3070. And yeah, I want to get out to the 43. We're going to be running all around now. Now that it's open, we're going to be running around rock fishing and looking for those darn tuna fish that Captain Hansen loves so much.
Oh, yeah, they're my favorite fish to kill. Hey, Pablo, do us a favor, though, while you're bouncing in and out. I'm going to leave you on here, but I'm going to pull you down off of the feed, but you'll stay with us. Drop down a line and catch us some fish, and we'll tune back in when you're catching.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, Justin Botro, what's going on, buddy?
Well, I'll be out tomorrow for Rockfish, and more than likely I'll be going live. It'll be in the morning time, anywhere between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to go live for Rockfish, so you can all see me go live and catch a whole bunch of rockfish. I'll be using the one and only squid squirts. We'll be using these, tipped off with some squid. I just picked some up this morning. And yeah, you'll see me live. Yep, there's some right there. It comes in the white and also the pink, everyone. Both of these work the same. So I have some open party trips available all next week. I have every day next week available from Monday until Friday, possibly Saturday. I'll have to look at the schedule. So if you want to get on an open party, local fishing is $200 per person. I need 4 to go. And you can give me a call or text. It's 951-703-9442. And if you're wondering what we'll be doing, obviously we'll be going for rockfish, but we're also going to target halibut. So those of you that have seen the reports of the halibut biting, we're going to target those for about an hour in the morning. And then we'll jump off a little bit and go over to the deeper areas, deeper meaning 300 feet, 350 feet, because I don't like going deeper than that. And we'll catch the rockfish, which you'll see tomorrow when I'm live. You'll see the size of the rockfish we're going to catch. I'm pretty confident we're going to catch them really fast. So, yeah, it'll be pretty good, really good.
Yeah, good. Dan and Kim are going out to the 43. But yeah, Justin, you're going to do just fine. We're excited that you're going to go live again. We've been missing your live shows, so that'll be good. How excited is Ryland to now be a part of your saltwater guide?
Oh my goodness, he is so excited. He loves the attention. He's a little bit nervous, but he's going to get over that nervousness after a few times being on the show and everything and everyone talking to him. But yeah, he is extremely, extremely excited. And he's just a showboat. I wish I was him when I was younger, you know, and I think a lot of us wish that same thing. I literally wish I was him, because he has it made. He's fishing all the time. Everyone loves him. He has a great personality. He knows how to do a lot of the stuff that a lot of us are still learning, and I'm still learning to this day. So yeah, I don't know. I love both of those two kids, Madden and Ryland. Madden's going to be the same way. He's 5 years old. When a couple more years, he's going to be the same way. So, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have a great crew on your boat for a very, very long time. So, gang, the really cool thing about having Al and Justin with us, and this is your opportunity to reach out to them and ask them anything you want to know about San Diego fishing, Back Bay fishing, halibut fishing up there with Justin, this rockfish thing that's going on, bluefin. Al can throw out the rubber flying fish as good as anybody. He can throw a dead one out. He can do anything that Justin can do. They both do it just as good as each other. They've both been at this for a very long time. This is your big opportunity, gang. We're here answering your comments and questions. You just throw them up there on Facebook or YouTube and let us know what you want us to talk about today. And we'll do the very best job we possibly can to entertain you. But we're going to need you to participate on the show also. So do us a favor and send us in a comment or a question. Tell Justin how much fun it is to watch him live. A lot of you watch him live all the time. I'm excited to see him again tomorrow. It should be spectacular. And once Al gets the big Riviera running, he's going to be going live out there. We're going to have so much live content. You guys, those heads are going to explode.
Yeah,
it's something.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That Riviera is going to hit the water either Wednesday or Thursday, and it's going to be game on. Brand new shafts, brand new rudders, brand new everything.
It should be pretty epic.
Yeah, and you know, I got a lot of open dates, prime dates available. So I mean, they're going to get all taken up like they always do. But if you know, especially on the offshore scene, if you guys want to get on that calendar, you can go to my website, captainclowers.com, or call me direct at 619-800-FISH to get your dates booked.
There you go. And Dory's asking you, what time are you thinking about going live tomorrow, Justin? We heard you, but go ahead and repeat yourself.
So it'll be in between, I think, I don't know the exact time. It'll be in between 8 and 9 a.m. 8 and 9 a.m. Everyone's used to seeing me go live at nighttime. Well, now the nighttime is for me to sleep, like the normal time. So now it's going to be all during the day. So between 8 and 9 a.m., I'm guessing, give or take, right around there. It's going to take me about 30 minutes to get out into the zone. And then I have to run the 22nd Street landing, pick up, then go out to the bait barge, and then go out. So between 8 and 9, right around there.
Beautiful. And then somebody's asking, our good friend Dave Hill's asking you, and both you guys can answer this. First, we'll go with Al. You got plenty of gear on the boat if Dave goes with you, Al?
Oh, yeah. About $35,000 worth of Kuma stuff.
There you go. Dave, that answers that. And then Justin, do you have any gear if they go with you?
I've got all the gear for everybody. Everything from bass all the way up to bluefin, whatever you need.
And that's the really nice thing about fishing on. That's the nice thing about fishing with these guys on a smaller type of trip. It's not like an open party trip on a sport boat, which I know a lot about since our family has 9 of them, but this is more intimate. And like I used to try to tell people, do us a favor. We have all the gear that you need to be successful, but we know you all have your favorite rod and reel. We know that. Don't bring 19 favorite rods and reels though. Bring 1 or 2, maybe 2, but no more than 2. Gang, I fish all over the world all the time. Here's how I do it. I bring my 2 favorite rods and I bring 3 reels. And that's how I fish. And it's worked out fine for me my whole life. The thing that blows my mind is when you show up to our boat with a tackle box that you need a forklift to get on the boat with. And then you have so many rods and reels, we're blown away. What are you going to do with all these? I know it's cool to have a bunch of stuff and it makes you feel really good inside, but it's unnecessary. I'm on a Let's Talk Hookup every Sunday morning, and one of the number 1 questions that those guys ask when they call into that show is, what rod should I bring on an 18-day trip? Well, now you're talking a totally different animal. You're going to want to have 8 or 9 or 10 rods. But my goodness, when you go out with Al or Justin, you're planning on going out for the day. They both want you to just go out for the day. They would love to go home and sleep in their own beds at night. That's kind of why they own their own businesses, so they don't have to go out for multiple days at a time. Don't bring a plethora of fishing poles. It's not worth it. It's not necessary. And you know what really, really cool, and we did this a lot of times when I was running that big Hatteras, you come out on our boat and you get to introduce to the rods and reels that we use, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have anything like this. We're like, yeah, that's why we really didn't want you to bring your old Penn reels and your old Daiwa spinning reels, because that's not going to work for what we're doing. It's nothing to take away from you, but if you have your own favorite fishing pole, definitely bring it. But you don't have to bring anything when you go with Al or Justin except yourself and maybe something to eat if you didn't arrange with them to have food for you. But I think both of them are able to get food for you if you decided you wanted the whole package and pay the whole kit and caboodle. I bet you they could have food for you and everything. What do you think, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're tailored to their needs. And what I've done with the people that ask about bringing their own gear, just like you said, go over it, and they can bring a specialized bait stick, or, I mean, it depends what we're doing, but if there's fish on the surface, they bring a jig stick or whatever. But I've had 6 people show up with like 6 rods a piece, and 5 of the 6 go back in their truck because they're not, I mean, the worst case scenario is you let them bring their gear. If it's not sufficient, then, and they start putting baits in the water, they're going to snap fish off and all that other stuff. So,
right.
But if they have a bait stick and a jig stick, yeah, sure, they can bring them, no problem.
What do you
So
think,
what
Justin?
I recommend everyone doing whenever people ask coming on my boat, between 1 and 6 people, is bring if you see this right here, this is big, okay? This is just a small or whatever tackle thing. This is for my hoop netting gear. But if you want to bring anything big, bring this. That's it. Put some hooks in there, put some lures in there if you want to cast some stuff. Put some weights in there. If you have some lead, bring lead between 2 ounces up to 16 or 18 ounces, depending on what we're going for. And that's really all you need. Maybe pliers, but put the pliers in your pocket. If you want any specific line that you want to use, we're using the Ahi GT4 line. But if you want to use any other kind of line, bring that if you want to, but that's all you need. And then also, if you think of it this way, if you're going on a half-day trip, so say we're going for rockfish, there's no reason to bring your bluefin tuna gear. There's no reason to bring your bluefin tuna jigs. You don't need to bring your live deception jigs because we're not casting out to bluefin. We're going for rockfish, local bass fishing. You just need to bring simple stuff. So one rod, maybe two, maybe, but one rod will suffice the actual what we're going to do for that day. If we go to Catalina, 2 rods per person is common. I have a lot of people that book me from another site that bring 10 to 15 rods per person, and then they come on my boat, literally 10 to 15 rods per person. They have stacks of them, and they're walking down the thing, and Mike and the guys over at 22nd State are looking at me like, what are you doing? I have no clue what they're doing. I don't even know we're going to Catalina. What's going on here? So they'll bring all these rods and look on my boat and go, where are we going to put all these? I don't know. Where are you going to put them all? That's too many rods. You just shove them in the V-berth right here and you can leave them there. All you need is 1 or 2 rods. That's it. And then when we go offshore, and I'm sure Al will agree with me, we would rather use our gear because we don't want to lose fish. We know that the stuff that we have, even though you have the greatest talicas and everything else and so on and so on, we know that our stuff will land the fish at a reasonable amount of time and very fast. So we like using our stuff, but if you have to bring your gear, then go right ahead. That's perfectly fine.
Way to break it down. I mean, my deckhand spends hours going through all the gear, make sure the knots are tied right and all the right line, all that stuff. Everything's in good working condition. So when they show up, everything's already been checked.
Yeah, that was one of my big pet peeves when I was doing it every day, going on a different boat. I would, on the way to wherever we're going, if I went with you as a guide on your boat, I would take every one of your rods and reels. I would dump the line off the back of the boat on the way out. I'd rewind it onto the reel. Then I'd put on the hook that I thought was appropriate, and I would set the drag, and I would rig. If you had 20 rods, I would do that with all 20 rods. I rig every single thing because when we do hook up, and we will if I'm on the boat or Justin's on the boat or Al, every one of those fish we hook matters to Al and Justin and I. We treat them like they're our children. They matter more than anything, and we want to get them in the white bag. We want to get them in the Deckhand Sports bag so they can get on ice because the water's kind of warm and they want to get in the ice. So we feel really bad if you don't allow them in. So we check everything. It's the same thing if you go with Justin or Al on their boats. All the rods are already set. The drags are already set. The right hooks are already tied on. The right line is already on there. The right fluorocarbon's already tied on. So you don't have to worry. The best thing about going with Justin or Pablo on their boats is you get to leave all the worry at home. Now, if you hire them to come with you as a guide on your boat, bring every single thing you have. I used to tell all my clients, bring all of your stuff. Bring your giant tackle boxes that you can't pick up. Bring all that because we're going to sort it all out on the way out. And I'm going to give you we're going to get a Ziploc bag or a trash bag, and we're going to fill it up with all the stuff you don't need ever because you didn't call us first and you didn't ask us. You went to the tackle store and you talked to one of the kids that work in there and you bought a bunch of stuff that you'll never use in the Pacific Ocean ever. And we're going to clean out your tackle box. We're going to make it so that you're successful when you go. Now, Jeanette has a big question, gang. Al's going to tell you, Jeanette, if you go with Justin, this will never come up because he's not going all the way down to Mexico. He doesn't have to. There's plenty of fish in America. But if you go with Al, 9 out of 10 times he's going into Mexican waters. It's just the way it is. He's going down there. But before you charter his boat or before your trip leaves, you're going to have a conversation with Al, and he's going to let you know, hey, those fish that were on the 43 are now down on the 302. So we all have to have a Mexican fishing license. Or, hey, that yellowtail started biting at the Coronados. We all have to have a Mexican fishing license. But really, Jeanette, you and Dave living down there where you guys live, you should get a Mexican fishing license all the time because you just don't want to be looking at a bunch of bluefin on the other side of the line, and you can't go there because you didn't think it was a good idea to get a Mexican fishing license, right, Al?
Right. You know, the way I explain it to 90% of the customers is have both just in case. And if they have passports, that just makes the whole piece of pie available, right? There's been many times where, you know, you think you're going to start here, and then at 4 in the morning or 3:30 in the morning, you get a text from your buddy and says, "Hey, they're biting over here, and if you don't have both licenses, then we can't go there, or we got to wait to get them." But it's not mandatory all the time. A lot of times, I know, hey, we're just going and fishing Mexican waters for sure, so Mexican license, or they're northwest, and there's no way we're going to go south, so California license. But I go over that with everybody, but the main thing I run into is lots of people don't have passports. It's amazing how many people don't get passports. You know, if you want to fish the salt zone down here in California, it's almost it's not mandatory, but if you have a passport, it just opens up the whole 360-degree area for me to be able to bob and weave wherever I want to go.
Yeah, and plus it's 2024.
And say you don't want to get a say you don't want to get a passport, you can also get a passport card.
Right.
You can get those a lot faster.
Right.
So
yeah, passport card works just fine.
But it's 2024. You should all have a passport anyway. You should. You just should. There's no reason to not have a passport. There's nothing to be afraid of. Just get a passport, for goodness sakes. You can't come visit me and Marley if you don't have a passport, for God's sakes.
Yeah, so we're like what 6 miles from the border down here, and the bluefin and everything normally come from the south. So we're going to head them off at the pass, and guess what? We're fishing down in Mexican waters, whether it's passport zone or not. You know, passport zone is 12 miles from the beach out, or 12 miles from the islands out. After that, it's just no passport, just a Mexican fishing license. So it gets a little tricky on knowing all the ins and outs of the situation, but basically, if you got a passport and a Mexican license, you can go anywhere you want.
Yeah, and Dory's asking, where do you get a Mexican fishing license? Well, I was listening to Ken Frankie on Let's Talk Hookup the other morning, and he's saying there's a portal now on
SAC,
on the SAC website, Sport Fishing Association of California. We call it SAC, SAC. When you go to Sport Fishing Association of California, go on there and you'll see how to purchase your Mexican fishing license online, and it works, and it's all good to go, and it's supposed to be up and working. What do you think, Al? Where's the best?
Hey, I got a better idea. Just go to CaptainClowers.com and go to the bottom of the front page, and click on get your Mexican fishing license.
I like that.
I have a link on the bottom.
That's way easier
to get your Mexican license or your California license. Now, the link on my site, they're all Mexican places where you buy your license, so don't freak out if it says 280. It's pesos. You know? So I in my confirmation email when the trip goes out, it's on there. But I've had quite a few calls and saying, "Hey, man, it's $280." No, it's pesos. They're like $14.
So tell everybody how to get to your website again.
It's CaptainClowers.com, and there's a link to get your California or your Mexican fishing license right on the bottom of my front page of my site.
And Clowers is spelled just like flowers with a C instead of an F, gang.
Correct.
So it's very simple to get there. That's better than going to any other website. There you go. Now we all know we're all going to Big Al's website.
The direct line, instead of going to and looking around and clicking here and clicking there, you just go right to my site and click on it and you're good to go.
I like that. Thank you, Al. That's awesome.
I try to make it as easy as possible for the clients.
And for us.
And for everybody.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. So look at, gang, it's Promar Ahi USA Tuesday. I want you to see this quick video. I know we show it every week, but there's a lot of people that haven't seen it yet. You're going to want one of these. This new net that Promar made, you throw it down below the squid that won't float, and you pull it right through the middle of that squid, and there you go. Got enough squid to fish with for the day. That's all I would need for a good day of sea bass fishing or yellowtail fishing. You throw that thing in the water 4 or 5 more times, your bait tank's full.
Hey, that's really cool. I mean, I have a Crowder, right? But that thing's a lot easy, lot more easy to use than the Crowder. You know?
Yeah, you're not throwing your Crowder down 100 feet.
Right.
The Crowder's great, gang. If you have a Crowder, it's great when the squid's 7, 8 feet down and it's spread out and it's not all balled up. Crowder will work, but that little net right there, that'll work anytime. If the squid's under your boat, you're going to get some. So many nights we've all stared at that water for hours, looking at it come up and then right out of sight again. Come up, then go right out of sight again. You drag that net through there and you're in. And it's a pretty spectacular product. And they sell out every time we do this on the show. Everybody, because they're very, very inexpensive, right, Justin?
Yeah, they're really inexpensive. I actually needed one for the boat the other day, but I didn't have it on the boat, so dang it. It's so cool because you can use that net not just for squid. So don't take it as only for squid. I will guarantee you, with the lights on the back of the boat right here, I can pull up a whole bunch of smelt. A whole bunch of smelt. When they're all balled up underneath the light, just pull that up underneath them. Guaranteed you're going to load your bait tank up. But yeah, I needed one the other day to get all those smelt so I can catch the white sea bass. Oh, hold on. Giving too much info.
Hey, imagine when the squid's really floating, dude. All you need is one drop. You got about 10 pounds in that bad boy.
Barely pull it up.
Exactly. And Dory wants to know, does it download right to your phone when you buy it, Al?
Yeah. Yep, you can download the license right on your onto your phone.
All right. Perfect.
Or print it. I like them printed because if the Navy pulls up on me, I like to have everything in a Ziploc.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but it's cool. I have my Mexican fishing license on my phone all the time. It's got that QR code, and these guys down here, the Mexican Navy, they just scan it with their little scanner, and boom, you're all good. Right. But you just, like Al said, it's good for the captain to have everybody's stuff in a Ziploc bag. Makes it real easy. You hand it to that gunboat when he comes up on you out at the Coronado Islands, and you're all good.
I just stick it on the long gaff so they don't come in too hot. Those guys don't care about dinging up your boat.
No, they don't. Tim Ogilvy, great question. Right now, Justin and Al and I were talking about this before we went live. Right now, you can catch everything all day long. You can have red fish mixed with green fish, mixed with pink fish, mixed with blue fish until September 1st. September 1st, that's when you're not going to be able to have red fish on the boat and then go bass fishing. Or you're not going to have red fish on the boat and go sea bass fishing. You're going to have to do all your halibut, sea bass, calico bass, yellowtail, all that stuff in the morning, then go out and finish the day off with some red rockfish and then go home. Once you put the red rockfish on in September, you got to go home. But right now, it's a free-for-all. Let's go. Catch a bunch of fish. Have fun.
Yeah, so everyone knows also when you're looking at the rigs for ground fish, they call it. They don't call it rockfish. They call it ground fish. When the season comes for 50 fathoms or deeper is when you cannot fish after you go for rockfish. You cannot fish for anything else after you go for rockfish. So once you see the rigs for 50 fathoms or deeper, then that's the time you cannot go for anything else. But right now it's any depth. So.
That's right. You got that right, Justin. Guys, got any more questions? Feel free to send them in here. We're looking for some questions, comments, whatever.
I seen a comment on there. You guys have Bud Light. We're not on my boat. I'm not allowed to supply alcohol because I don't have a liquor license. They need to bring their own beers.
Yeah, so that's the same way with me. I tell everybody, people ask me, do I have any food or drinks for them? No, I do not. But if you were to steal stuff out of my fridge that's under $850 or $900, I can't do anything about it, right?
Right.
So I don't have a liquor license or a food license. But if you steal the stuff out of my fridge, I can't do anything about it.
Right.
So, well, another thing I wanted to mention really quick is I have something here. I know it's Promar Day. But this is the Deckhand Sports thing. And people ask all the time, or people bring all the time, multiple ice chests that are like 500 pounds and more on the boat. There's really no room for all that. We want more room for standing room and for you to fish. We don't want to have to stack up ice chests all over on the boat. So the easiest thing for everybody to do, whether you're going to go on Al's boat, my boat, Pablo's boat, or wherever, or if you're going to go on a sport boat, don't bring an ice chest. Bring this. Look at how small that is. But look at how big this is. This right here will hold all your ice, all everything, and your fish fillets. Because when you come out with us, we fillet your fish. Okay, we'll fillet your fish for you. You can put them in the nice bag on nice Ziploc, whatever we're going to put them in for you. I put them in Ziplocs. Unless we catch a big giant fish, we'll put them in bigger bags. And then you just put them in this bag right here. We'll have ice for you. We'll be more than happy to dump the ice inside of your bag for you to take. And yeah, it's super easy, very, very compact, easy to roll up, easy to carry. It has this is Deckhand Sports bag. It's a dry bag or something. I forgot which one, a boat dry bag. But it has straps as well where you can put it around your shoulder. That way you can carry your 500 fishing rods that you brought onto our boat, and you can carry the tackle box.
Hey, that thing's cool. That thing's really cool.
Yeah,
right there.
it's like really cool.
Right. And you can stick, and they don't leak. You can stick it in your rental car or your Porsche or whatever you're driving.
Yeah.
So, Jeanette, I'm going to let Al start off answering that question. Then I'll let Justin have a stab at it. And if I don't like the answers they give you, then I'll take it from there. But she wants to know what's the deal. She's reading the regs, and this net seems like it might not be legal to be using, Al, to catch squid. What do you think? What is your take on that?
I'm not really up to speed on. We don't really fish in the squid zone, so I don't really stay up to speed on that. I can't answer that one, to be honest.
Okay, Justin, with mouthful of water.
So the net that Promar has is considered a dip net. There's a difference between a dip net and a cast net. The cast net is the one that you throw out into a wide spread, drops down into the water, and then scoops up whatever bait ball or bait is right there. This net, being a dip net, which drops down on a line and you pull straight up, is only X amount of inches wide, is why we can have them here in California. And that's what I was told by Fishing Game. Because I was asked that by someone else through Promar.
Yeah, I know cast nets are illegal, but yeah, that's definitely not a cast net. Yeah. It's a dip net. And it would be legal.
So the way that we were told, and Ben and Steve and all of us were told, was that it's like Justin said, it's more of the lines of a dip net. Throw nets are illegal in California because one day they saw somebody having fun throwing one, so they said you can't do that anymore, as everything in California. And then to what Dan's saying, Dan, right now, and it's going to change. Right now, Wayne's thinking the 7th or the 9th is when the regs are actually going to change. But yes, you can have your 4 reds on the boat per person. But listen, here's what I say. This is how I approach all these things. When you're coming in and you meet that new, because they just hired a whole bunch of new fish and wildlife officers. They're coming hard. This month, they're flooding the industry. They're going to be on sport boats. They're going to be on private boats. They're going to be on charter boats. The Fish and Wildlife's making a huge presence in April. I don't know if you've seen, but the governor of the state of California accidentally spent all the taxpayers' money. It was an accident. He didn't mean to. It just accidentally happened. So they don't have any money right now. So they're coming after the folks like you and me and Al and Justin that actually can pay fines. So they're coming after us hard. So here's my logic on this. Do I want some kid, and I'm not taking anything away from the Fish and Wildlife. I understand you're doing a job, but do I want to have an argument on the back of my boat at the launch ramp that vermilion rockfish, he's telling me it's a vermilion, but you and I both know it's a bacotch. But 90% of the rockfish we catch, they don't even know how to identify them anyway. So I'm going to stay with the new regs that are coming out. I'm going to just have my 2. I don't need the brain damage. Me personally, you guys do whatever you guys feel you need. Whatever you love, conflict, and you love drama, and you want to go to court, you want to plead your case, have fun with all that. Me personally, I don't want any of that. I'm going to take 2 vermilions because that's what they're saying we're allowed. And then I'm going to have 8 chili peppers. I'd rather eat chilies anyway. And the bocage and all that other stuff, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to use a descending device and send it on back down to the bottom. But if you're going out there to the 43, you're going to want to look around in the sand. You're going to want to get off of the big hard bottoms and look in the sand. That's where you're going to find those big double grade A chili peppers. So ones that are as long as your arm, Dan. They live off the structure, near the structure, but you'll see them on your fish finder. It's going to be big balls. But Justin, the reason I said about the descending device is because this is the new law too, that you have to have a descending device. Justin has an option. Al has another option. You guys have to have one. It's just, we don't want to look ugly out there. We all got to have our descending device. Talk about yours.
So here,
I'll talk about yours.
Al, you want to talk about this? I'll show it.
Right. So that's just a upside down hook. What I do with mine is that one's all crimped on the swivel and stuff. That's a really cool one right there. You put a swivel over the hook on the bottom. But so basically there's no barb on that, right, Justin?
No barb.
Right.
This is an actual descending hook.
Right. Yeah, and you can use any hook, long shank hook, and just take the barb off and tie your line right to the saddle of the hook bend right there, and then tie your weight on the bottom. And you just got to be careful when you start it because it has to have gravity to pull it down. But you just send them down with that thing, and it's really cool. You can make your own, or you can buy one.
Okay. Now, how about this one, Al?
Oh, there you go.
Have you ever used that one?
No. No.
Okay, so this one is this one's my favorite, but it is a little pricey. It's made by Sequel. I don't know. Many people make this. So what you do is at the very top, you can just push it down and spin, and that'll change your depths from 100, 200, or 300 feet for release. The way this works is you take your fish, here's the mouth of your fish, you take this right here and you clamp it on to your fish's mouth and it locks, okay? It's not coming undone. As soon as you drop it down and it gets to the depth of whatever you set it, either 100, 200, or 300 feet, it will then release like this and release the fish off of the descending device. The way you hook it on is you have we use these for the big fish. We'll put like a 1 pound weight or 2 pound weight on it on your line, and then we'll do a dropper loop knot on your line, and then you just connect this to your line right here. That right there. You just connect it to your line, and that's it. You drop this down. This is a super easy, really easy way, but this is pricey. Another way is that hook, like Al was talking about. The hook one can be a little bit of trouble because the force of gravity, when you're putting it down into the water, you want to make sure the hook is always facing down and not go up, because then your fish will fall off and be floating in the water. So
right,
those are 2 different descending devices.
Right. The heavier weight, the better on the
What's
hook.
that?
The heavier weight, the better on that hook one.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. The other thing is if anyone's looked at the regulations for this this rockfish season, from here on out, pretty much, it is a requirement that you must have easily, what does it say? Readily available to something to use immediately on your boat. So you have to have a descending device of some kind available for you to use immediately if you get a fish that you're not keeping. So you have to have that. So have one in your rod holder ready to go, because Fishing Game will write you that ticket. And I believe, like Dave and someone else was saying on here, the regulations are going through the 7th, but I would just start it now because otherwise it's going to confuse everybody. But just start the new rigs now. They're going through no matter what. And you're allowed 2 vermilions. You're only allowed 10 fish total of different kinds of rockfish combined. And you have to have one of these. That's all.
That's enough. That's
Yeah.
enough.
That's all.
That'll take an hour to get ready on the checklist before you even go.
It's like we say on the show all the time, Justin and Al. They're pushing towards the point that they're trying. They as the government, when you guys vote, just remember, those of you that are voting for that one side, you guys are all voting for all these closures. Just know that. I don't really care who you vote for, and I'm not going to change who you vote for. But if you enjoy what's going on, you enjoy all the havoc that's going on, keep voting for who you're voting for. That's keep doing what you're doing, keep getting what you're getting, is what my sponsor always tells me. Understand this is all very, very confusing, but it's all a big giant game made to make us not fish. They don't want to ever say they closed it. They're just going to make sure that they make it so that it's not worth going out for. But you guys, like we said in the beginning of the show, we all know how to fish around the regs. When they closed a third of the coastline to the MLPs, we all were like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Well, we adapted and we learned how to fish around them. Those areas would be spectacular to go into, but we're not allowed to. As they close more and more of this rockfish and play these little games and everything, just understand, you watch our show and you listen to what we have to say, and we're going to teach you how to fish around the regs. We're going to show you how to do it. We're going to show you that Al and Justin are going to have the descending device on their boat. They're going to take you out there and you're going to have the time of your life catching big giant rockfish that you didn't even know lived there. And the people that are making these silly ass laws, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. They've never even been on the water. They're more pale than this can right here. They're more white than that can. They don't know what they're talking about. But we all have to live within that because of who over 50% of you keep voting for. You guys keep voting for this. You keep voting for it. So don't get upset about it as it keeps coming down the line. Like I saw a guy yesterday just mattered heck about this, but I know for a fact that he voted for the governor, and I know for a fact that he voted for the president. So you really can't bitch about it, gang. You're getting exactly what you're voting for. You're getting exactly what you're voting for. That's me and Al live in a world, we call that insanity. The definition of insanity is you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Gang, enough's enough. Enough's enough.
Hey, let me throw something else out there. That side, I had to pay $335,000 to get new, clean, burning motors in my boat, along with all this other crap that's going on. It's totally insanity. It's crazy. They want tier 3s or better in the boat till, and so it cost me $335,000 to repower my boat. And now all these fishing regulations and everything, it's just, I just sure hope my calendar fills up completely this year to get around all those expenses.
Yeah, no, I know. And then
and the other thing I think of is, what? The thing is, the way I think of it is, the government or whatever can take fishing away from me. Don't take it away from my kids. Like, don't. Right. That's a no-no.
Right. Not only your kids, but I have 5 grandsons from 3 months old to 10 years old. You guys haven't met them yet, but I'll bring them on every now and then. I have the 10-year-old and 8-year-old are fishing little fools. But man, I can't imagine what's going to happen when they, the gear I have is in the living trust to go to them, and hopefully they can even use it. They might have that stuff outdated by then,
Yeah, it pisses me off so much. Like I don't know. I just got to hold back a little bit, not say what I want to say, and I don't know, crazy. So on a good note, Jeanette, no, it's just you, your husband, and myself and maybe my wife and kids, and we're going out. So everyone knows we're going out this weekend, and we are testing a new satellite for the boat. And we're going to go offshore a little ways and see if it works for a live action while we're out on the water where we have no reception. So, and I invited Jeanette and her husband to come out with us.
Cool.
So we might as well fish, right? While we're out there.
Well, nothing more sexy than fishing at Catalina, gang. If you've never done it before, going to Catalina with Justin on his boat, you're going to be blown away. You're going to be absolutely blown away by how beautiful Catalina is. And then the history of Catalina and all the things to learn about Catalina, because I don't know if you know, but I'll do anything to not work. And I used to run the tour bus over there at Catalina, and the history on Catalina blows most people's minds. There's so much cool history over there on the island. You got to go for a tour of the casino. The casino, that doesn't mean gambling. People get so locked up. Oh, casino, do they gamble? No, casino means place of gathering. So when the Wrigley's chewing gum family built Avalon, and they went and bought Catalina, and then they rebuilt Avalon, and they put that big casino over there on the right side as you're coming in. That was meant as a place of gathering, and the big bands would play there, and you'd come over on the gambling ships from LA and Long Beach, and then you'd get to the island, you'd get off, and you'd go and dance the night away, and then they would put everybody back on the boat out in the middle of the night. And remember, you know what the crossing is like going from Avalon back to Long Beach. Can you imagine what those poor people all dressed up in their suits and their dresses and everything, just getting the living bejesus kicked out of them going back? But they were hammered back then. But there's so much fun history over at the island, gang. You got to go with Justin over there. And it's so much fun to fish, but you know what's really cool? To fish a little bit, go on the island, have lunch, go to the casino, learn a little bit about it, get back on the boat, fish a little bit, and go home. Most people miss out on Avalon, which is magical. You're blown away when you're there, 32 miles from land, and it's like totally different world. You feel the magic when you step off the boat onto the island. You just feel a little bit of magic when you're walking around there. And I don't want to live in a world where we can't fish and go on Catalina either, gang. So please, when you go to pull that lever in November, think, is your life better or worse since you've been doing that? Poor California, man. They don't even count us anymore. They already know blue. But they open the polls up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and at 5 o'clock, they've already said blue. Blue. Wait a minute. 90% of Californians haven't even. It's okay. It's blue. It's blue.
Yeah.
Blue.
So I wanted to go on another. wanted to jump on another topic that Dave, you and Al were talking about earlier. So coming out on our boats, Al's, Pablo's, or mine, compared to going out on a sport boat, what are the differences? When you come out with us, the day is dedicated to you. To you, all of you. It is dedicated to whatever your likings are, what you want to do, so on and so on. We go, okay, half day, we go from 6 a.m. to 12. Okay, you're there at 5:30, we can still leave. Oh, you want to stay until 1? Okay. When you're on a sport boat, you have to be there at 5:30. You're leaving at 6, and you're going to be back at the dock at 12. On our boat, say you go to Catalina, you go to Coronado's, you go anywhere like that. I'll give an example of Catalina. You come to Catalina. Hey, no, I've never been on the island before, you tell me. Or you tell Anthony or whoever my deckhand is. You tell Ryland. I've never been on Catalina. They come up and tell me, hey, they've never been to Catalina. Guess where we're going? We're going on Catalina. We're going to go on Catalina and show you. Because the day is special for you. We think of it as it's your vacation. And we have to make your vacation the best vacation you've ever had. So we're going to take you to Catalina. We're going to take you on shore. We're going to take you over here. If you want, and we're there long enough, I have a dinghy on my boat. I'm getting the dinghy down, and you can drive that dinghy wherever you want. Have fun. It's your day. It's your special day. So that's what we do. That's just the little things we do.
Tailor to the client's needs. It's all about the clients.
Absolutely.
And, on my boat, the deckhand, whatever they want to know, or, I mean, it's all customer service based, so I have
Yeah.
I have a lot of instances where the big bluefin are just chomping, and I want to go to the bluefin, but the family has kids or whatever, and they just want to go catch rockfish or bonita or whatever. And that's what we do, tailored to the client's needs.
Yeah. That is what we do. 100%.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that in there. I think
Good.
that's like that's the greatest thing ever going out with us. So
I wish I lived closer to Catalina. You're in a good area. I can go to Mexico and you can go to Catalina.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
Al, if
Yeah.
you think about this, for Al to go to Avalon, it's 60 miles one way.
Yeah.
Right, at about 25 gallons an hour.
So if you want to go to Catalina on Al's boat from San Diego, he will take you, but it's going to cost you a mortgage payment on your house.
Right. Well, I have those big bluefin trips for $4,300. That'll get them close. But I'm thinking about, what I'd like to do is do some 2 and 3 day trips and get a hotel, on the island for the clients. That's something that I've been looking at. That would be cool.
Hey, Roger. Roger, if you want, you can call Justin direct. We don't really like to put out the charter boat, but if you did an open party with him, I'm not positive, but you can call Justin direct and he'll be more than happy to answer all your questions, let you know what's going on. So Justin and Al are going to put their phone numbers out here one more time. And Tim Ogilvy says, Al, thanks for answering my call last week. And the info was great. Gang, that's the thing about being a member of your Saltwater Guide. This is our commitment to all of you that are members. You call us, we answer your phone. There's no other website out there where you can call the owner or you can call his guides and you can talk to them. You never gave us a penny. Yeah, you signed up for the website, but you didn't give Al any money. Tim didn't give Al any money to talk to him. He talked to Al and Al talked to Tim and he put him in the right direction and he's going to answer all your questions. Jeanette can call Justin all the time. He answers the call, but that's part of being a member of the website. It's pretty spectacular if you ask me. And then the community that we've built, those of you that aren't members, you keep looking at all these people putting up the same comments every day on the show. Those are members of the website that understand how cool it is to be in a community of positive people. And yeah, we get a little wound up about the political part of this, and I hear a lot of negative. Oh, Dave, I hate it when you go talk about politics. Well, if you haven't noticed, this fishing thing is so political now, you can't get away from it. And I wanted to say one thing about what Al did. He spent all the money on those engines, and the industry did. Almost every sport boat in the industry, and the ones that didn't get it done, they're getting it done this year. We all put in those new engines. We all put them in. We all spent hundreds and millions, let's be honest, millions of dollars. And the moment Al got done, and the moment Dana Wharf Sport Fishing got done, and the moment San Diego got done, they put out a new rule saying now you have to have a tier 4 engine. Now listen, go look at that. CA carb compliance. Yes, Jeanette, thank you. They want us to put in a tier 4 engine. Guess what, gang? And they want it to be in by 2030. Well, any of you that are real good on making tier 4 engines, you should get in on this because they haven't even invented it yet. This is how screwed up this state is. The people you keep voting for, everybody. We got to be compliant with these engines, and we have to be compliant in 6 years with an engine that doesn't exist, or we can't work. We can't go fishing. We can't take you. Nobody can take anybody fishing if you buy a ticket, if you don't have these tier 4 engines that don't exist yet. It's pretty crazy, pretty damn crazy. So Al, give everybody your phone number one more time, and then we'll go to Justin because we're out of time.
Oh man, 619-800-3474. If you forget, it's 619-800-FISH.
And Justin.
Phone number is 951-703-9442.
And gang, you want to get in sooner than later. You're going to have the same problem Justin had during the lobster season where he had no availability. So don't get caught up with no availability. We are in an El Nino, whether you want to believe it or not. The water down here in Cabo is 76 degrees right now. We're catching rooster fish and sierras, which we never catch this time of year. It's usually yellowtail. The water's cold. Water's warm. This massive amount of yellowfin tuna that are chasing these bluefin up the coast, they're already picking away yellowfin tuna in the schools of bluefin right now, 100 miles south of San Diego. That's crazy to catch yellowfin tuna in March, let alone what's going to happen here in June, July, August, September. So you better get in on this, gang, because this is going to be historic, just like Justin's lobster fishing was historic. If you guys are going fishing with Justin next year, lobster fishing, please don't be disappointed when you're not catching 900 every night, because
Right. Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah,
It's so true.
Pray for rain. Pray for rain.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much. You can ask Justin and Pablo any questions you want off the line, off the show. Give them a call. I got to get going. My son just called twice.